It's funny. It's not the angle on the face, although somewhat it is. But more importantly about the face, it's the lighting. And when it's on a different spot on your body, you don't have to have the same lighting because lighting just brings out the blemishes or imperfections. So less light is good. But on the face, it's not because then it just deepens the shadows, which is bad. But anyway, I just realized that. And I bet you know that because you don't have the camera on your other places on you. You have it on your face. Most everything you say can be an innuendo or, double meaning. Anyway, really blew my mind when I thought about, and I'm sure you understood the post. Um, but I had as a way. I was at the time when this was going on. I was single, and I've been faithful in my last two relationships before now, or specifically before you. I'm not saying you are or aren't a relationship. Still resent this whole fucking context a little bit, but um, so during that, and that was probably like a close coming up onto like a 15-year period. I took 10 years off between Jen and Nicole, and actually it was Nicole and Jen, and both of them had been. Jen was put in prostitution by her parents, and it was her dad who was actively for a long time, and Nicole was not. They actually created a really good, perfect life around her in Kent, and I can't remember, it's Kent Hills or something, which is a pretty upper middle class area. But it was her dad was also right up to when she was 30 or whatever to when I left. But my point being is that during the time I was single, in that time frame, I I would many times, whether it was on social media or in person, I would tell them like, listen, I don't want to be the star player. I said, I want to be a bench player. I said, listen, let me come off the bench. I'll give you quality minutes. I mean, that's what I said. So whether I thought about it or not, I was supporting the idea of a woman having, whether she's in a relationship and has multiple men giving her attention, or she's not and has multiple men giving her attention. That was still my way in the, and I liked it. And I'd even given a little thought about, am I encouraging bad behavior? And I said, no, it's her right to decide what she wants to do. That actually is sidestepping the question, because the question is, what behavior am I encouraging? And whether I like it, I am encouraging bad behavior. And the point I rationalize was, it's her decision. Well, obviously it's her decision, but are you encouraging her to make a good one or a bad one? And I would often say, like, listen, I'm older now. I know how to keep a secret. And as you get older, you really understand the inner workings of the female mind more, because up until about 40, you just don't give a shit about what they think. It's just fun trying to conquer, the mountain or whatever. But then once you hit a little bit of older age, your brain just you finally hit an age where you're smarter. Where literally I was looking at my own actions in the world and life and God and spirituality, and I had found my spirituality, in my late 20s, but it just wasn't a priority until probably when Jerry passed, so like 2012, something like that. But it's really funny how the human mind will right away talk you out of or make you feel good about not doing a good thing. It'll make you feel like you're doing the right thing all the time. I mean, honestly, what it brings to the surface right away, because now it looks like you've made further improvements. If I take for face value and give you the benefit of the doubt that everything I'm hearing and seeing from you is true, it sounds like, you've improved yourself, you've worked on yourself, and you're doing things to make you a more well-rounded, full human being. So immediately when I see that, it doesn't make me feel it makes me say, okay, hey, are we correcting as much as she is? And I have not been, especially with the way I've been talking to you. even right when I hear your bad behavior, if I'm to react negatively and use negative speech towards you, it's still not okay. I'm supposed to cope better, act like an adult, and not do that. So the entire time I haven't had an excuse to act like I was acting. I was just mad, and it was the only way for me to vent and, for lack of a better way to put it, hit back. And I don't regret it, but I learned from that because I told you why I was here, and that was to care about you and, be somebody you could lean on, lift you up, and be a foundation for you. Not be somebody that, like you said, adds to your chaos. Although when you decide to make chaos or create, you don't fuck around. I'll say that. As big of a jerk as me too. But anyway, you're over emotional when you're on dope. You are constantly in a negative in your emotional bank account. Things get to you that just shouldn't get to you, and I've dealt with it for so long that I can manage it okay. So I think, honestly, nobody manages drug use. It just doesn't happen. And it does, hold you back. And it holds you back a great deal. And really all of the things that are causing me problems are just from, right now I can't even see any problems from any other area of my life. It's just the drug use. It gives me an inability to properly deal with, communicate, look like I want to look with you and the outside world. It's why I stopped going to school. And it gives you this want to isolate mentality. It disconnects me from the emotions I'm supposed to be feeling all of the time, most of the time. And more importantly than just wanting to, all that, I just don't need it anymore. And I know that. And I'm not looking at that and then telling myself, okay, in the face of knowing what is right, or knowing what is a necessity for me and what isn't, knowing what makes me more of a person and less of a person, why haven't I stopped? Why haven't I set it down? And I've been avoiding the problem because I've been avoiding the problem because up to now, I've been actively saying, hey, it's my decision. And it's still my decision. But now I have a different decision that I've been not looking at. So anyway, I just thought it crazy that, you said that joke about, you got rid of the roster. And right off the bat, it made me remember the lines I used. And it made me laugh. I thought it was pretty witty how you said it. And I liked hearing it, I also thought, too, the fucking... Well, Columbus, if that's true, fuck, even if it's not, as funny as fuck. Oh, that's right, it wasn't you, that was him. But still, it's funny, just that you would use that example. Fuck, it's so funny. And I guess what makes it really funny is it's so easy to picture you coming off with that type of response, and then even with the end response of, hey, it looks like you're a bitch. And the thing that really pulls it together is me knowing your character, me experiencing you walking out on the deck, sitting on the steps, looking really calm and relaxed and happy, going, well, let me tell you something, buddy, tell somebody who cares. And it hit so clearly to the fucking core of me. That's the experience that carried that post again to my core, sort of, you know what I mean? And I mean, you do have, you've got a knack for like nuances and timing and content, and what's funny is I think my humor is the same thing, because I really like to pull from the person. I like to pull from my originality and who I am, and then infuse the context of the situation we're in at the same time, meaning, life, society, place in the country, and, that the character or whatever of that certain spot, all of that stuff, and if you can do that and then double meaning that, I mean, you're having fun. But anyway, I got on here because I haven't talked to anybody in a while, and I'm still not talking to anybody. For the record, I'm not anyway. Of course, I do have a real desire or pull on me to want to say that this isn't communication, but that, and I've said it, and I know I'm talking to you, and it infuriates me I can't talk to you, but the option is never talking to you to demonstrate my objection, or just keep talking to you. And so I guess I'm going to demonstrate my objection from more than time to time. It's probably going to be the majority of the time, or maybe half. I'm such a fucking wishy-washy bastard when it comes to you. And then I'm going to talk to you the rest of the time. Every one of the fucking messages and posts you send me, they say the last thing I should be doing is communicating with you. So technically I'm not, but we are. So it doesn't matter, and it does. I'll tell you this right now. This be any other person, male or female, in this same situation, in this context, I have not been talking to you for 5 months, for 4 months, easy. And I'm not saying that because I want you to feel lucky, and I'm not saying it because I'm going to stop talking to you. I'm not saying it for either one of those reasons. I'm saying it because I want you to know that as you come around and it looks like you're setting a lot of the ego down and just realizing that your true power really does come from humility, or at least your best shot at it. That I've never not thought of you as a catch or a prize. And it is definitely not because of your looks. It is not because of your money, your station in life, your house. It's none of that. No one has the sense of humor or character I've experienced from you. And that's what I fell in love with most of all. And it's just like you like my jokes. I caught this stuff in your jokes. You're really weird and beautiful, attention to detail. And what's mattered the most to you, it seems like, there's two options at the end I'll point out. But it looks like to me, and I want to believe in, like the positive, the love, the goodness in somebody's effort is what speaks to you loudest. And I didn't realize how much of a firm grip the world and egotistical and, self-serving interests and attitudes were a part of your person at one time. Because, like I said, those 3 years we spent together, we just really were the version of us we liked the most. And if you think back and remember, the whole time, what did we bring to that table? Laughter, affection, appreciation, enjoyment, our time, and our person. And that's why I guess I do know, and I'll say this last in another video,